Welcome back again to Cine Digest. Today I will show you an action, crime, and sci-fi movie from 2016 titled Virtual Revolution. Spoilers ahead, please watch out and take care. We're now in the year 2047, considered a century of technological revolution. Humanity has reached major achievements like flying cars and robots, but the thing that changed society the most is the creation of virtual worlds called verses that feel as real as the actual world itself. You're watching Cine Digest, and this is Movie Recapped. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more awesome stories. 75% of the population, known as the connected, stopped caring about their real lives and spend their whole day online, so cities are now owned by the minority. And there are other people that split their time between the real and virtual world, and those are called hybrids. In Neo-Paris lives shadow agent Nash Trenton, a hybrid haunted by the memory of his love Helena dying in a virus attack a few years ago. He's part of an adventuring team in a fantasyverse where they fight bad guys using swords, bows, and magic. One of the team members, named Dalwin, is in a relationship with him even if they don't know each other in real life. One day, after the group defeats a powerful mage, Nash exits the game a bit early because Dina, his manager at Cinternus Corporation, calls for him, one of the major companies in charge of the verses. 148 players were killed in a cybervirus attack by a rebel group called the Necromancers, so Dina wants him to find out their identities. The attacks and casualties keep increasing, and calling Interpol isn't an option because their systems are always getting hacked, and if they got involved, Cinternus wouldn't be able to take down the Necromancers directly. Nash goes to the place behind the IP address that spread the virus, and it's easy for him to break into the building because the streets are empty with everyone inside playing. The building is abandoned, and Nash doesn't find anything except trash, until he hears a noise. He pulls out his gun and follows the sound, and suddenly a big, bald, muscular man jumps on him, and they start beating each other up. After punches, kicks, and throwing into walls, the man overpowers Nash, and after dropping him to the floor, he steals his ID and leaves. The next step is in a shady neighborhood full of people offering sketchy services. There, Nash visits his friend and former brother-in-law Morel, who is a very skilled hacker. After Morel stitches his wounds, Nash asks him to hack Interpol systems and get him the surveillance recordings from that building so he can identify the man who attacked him. Morel accepts in exchange for illegal hardware that Nash gets from his clients. Nash gets upset and leaves when Morel suddenly brings up Helena, even though he knows Morel suspects her death wasn't normal. After a while, Nash spends time with Dalwin in the game, but the doorbell interrupts them. It's Morel bringing news about the recordings. Unfortunately, the bald guy didn't show up on camera, but there's a man that appeared several times days before Nash arrived, even though he doesn't look like a fighter. Morel puts all the information on a flash drive, and Nash takes it to Dina, who uses the company's software to identify the mysterious man. His name is Leonard Lorenz, and they have his address. Nash goes there, sneaks into the apartment through the window, and finds Leonard connected to the game. But he isn't alone. The bald guy is there too, ready for another fight. This time, after some punches, Nash doesn't stay down. He takes out his gun and shoots the bald guy. After shooting Leonard as well and recovering his ID, he sits on Leonard's chair and takes control of his character to infiltrate the group and get info about the Necromancers. The avatar turns out to be a blonde woman in the middle of a pleasure moment with two girls, but Nash ignores them, dresses her up, and leaves with the weapon he found. Outside, a Necromancer soldier named John is waiting for him and says they've been ordered to return to headquarters immediately. The game is a shooter, so John and Nash enter a war zone and take advantage of two factions fighting a giant robot called Cerberus so they can pass unseen. Inside an abandoned building, John's binoculars glitch, proof of a scrambler machine, meaning an ambush. There's no other way. They must go deeper into the PvP zone, where surviving is harder, and it's safer for them because agents won't find them there. They face the ambush with gunfire, and with skilled cover and great aim, they take down the soldiers. But a big boss appears at the end of the corridor blocking the way. A tall man wearing armor and carrying a huge machine gun, hard to kill, but John has a plan. He throws a flash grenade to distract him while Nash circles behind the boss and shoots him in the head. After stealing ammo, they run and reach the headquarters. The leader, Camille, is waiting for them and asks a soldier to bring a beacon device while questioning them. A mysterious man is visiting their buildings, and Interpol is hunting them.
Camille admits they must change tactics. They try to scare gamers so they leave the verses, but the media covers up the deaths and everyone thinks it's just a rumor. Suddenly, the device arrives. It prevents Nash from logging out. Soldiers grab Nash and reveal they knew he wasn't Leonard because he didn't make their secret sign when he entered. Camille punches him, but negative feelings are weak online, so he orders his men to log out and search for his real body. While Camille explains how politicians and corporations want people living like vegetables, Nash takes the chance to headbutt one soldier and trigger a grenade on another. The explosion destroys the beacon.
He wakes up in the real world just in time and shoots the real John entering the apartment. Nash visits Morell again and asks about devices that stop logging out. Morell says, impossible. So Nash gives him the headquarters coordinates and wants log-in, log-out records from that area. Their investigation is interrupted when 3 Interpol agents enter, so Nash hides and Stilson interrogates Morell. At first he refuses to talk, but after getting punched, he admits hacking Interpol and selling data to a small gaming company, and also testing security for big corporations. Since they found nothing in the recordings, they leave after Stilson tells them they'll need his services so they don't arrest him. Nash leaves after Morell promises to continue looking. Nash thinks the necromancers still don't know his identity. He goes back home and plays with Dalwyn and enjoys his time. But Dina calls him. She tells him Interpol came because of the deaths, and he tells her what Morell found. All attacks are against the biggest 3 verse companies, but the tracking stops because they keep some players always online to guard the place and connect from different spots. Dina wants him to finish fast because she doesn't want Interpol. Even if allies, they're not friends. Companies pay taxes, the government uses that money to pay universal income to the connected, and they pay for the game. The government thinks paying for one connected is much cheaper than a full living person, and the connected don't live long anyway. Nash asks Morell to hack Interpol to see what they know and goes home to find the necromancers waiting for him. He meets the real Camille, and she's a woman. She tells him not to work with Cinturnus because they lied about Helena's death. The virus that killed her was created by Cinturnus, and the necromancers just upgraded it. Helena was close to them and became a target. He believes her because he always felt something was wrong, and he agrees to help them and suggests the plan against Interpol. Stilson follows one of the group, and Nash helps him escape through the sewers. He brings him back to Camille, and she asks him to inform them of anything Morell discovers. When he visits Morell, Nash admits he's being used by both sides, and Morell tells him nothing will bring Helena back. He also tells him Interpol has a spy inside Camille's group, and a meeting is soon. Nash goes to the location and gets captured. Stilson reveals he knows Nash is working both sides and wants him to be an informant for Interpol too. But Camille and her crew attack and kill all the Interpol agents. Now, Nash wants to know the plan. The necromancers want to free all the connected. They'll use a virus to shut down all devices and erase the verses.
That will force people back to real life. But the virus must start from the matrix of one of the main verses. And that's Nash's job. Bring the virus inside Cinturnus HQ until the hackers finish their work. Camille promises the virus spreads gradually, and once it's active, nobody will trace it to him, so he agrees. With some time left, he logs in and plays with Dalwyn, who doesn't want clear labels on their relationship, making Nash think a lot. Then he goes to Dina and while talking activates the secret device. The hackers start their attack. Nash returns home and plays one last mission, but messages from Morell interrupt him, revealing the plan and calling everyone in Neo-Paris to stop them. A huge angry mob of Connected, forced out of the game, storms the Necromancer's place and kills them all before destroying the verses. Sometime later, Dina calls Nash again, suspects it was him, but won't arrest him because they destroyed the group thanks to that. But she cuts ties with him because he betrayed them and tells him Camille lied. The virus that killed Helena was the Necromancers, and she only got close to them as a spy for Cinturnus. Nash doesn't know who to believe, and to escape the pain, he goes online permanently and becomes a new Connected, deciding to live the rest of his life with Dalwyn and their team. And using his money, he upgrades his avatar to enjoy more. And since his brain can't tell the difference between real and virtual life, online life becomes just as real to him. And that's the end of today's movie. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Cine Digest for more amazing stories with Movie Recapped.